So growing up in California, it's kind of like the same routine for me every day. I don't know about you guys. I go to school, work, sleep. Sometimes I eat, I don't know, depending if I have time during the day. But it kind of sort of goes into a routine. I feel like I'm always trapped in that one certain spot, whether it's Brea, Fullerton, Anaheim, or sometimes even LA. Sometimes I'll go as far out as San Diego. A lot of us kind of feel that way, where we're just trapped in California. We don't have any places to go because we're college students, we're on a budget. How could we afford to travel? How could we afford to travel cheap? We could barely afford cup noodles every day, right? Like, I shove oatmeal in my stomach so I could be full throughout the day. So for the past 2 years, from 17 to 19, my brother worked for Virgin America Airlines, and I was able to travel for free throughout the entire country and $100 round trip from Asia or Europe. And through that, I was able to learn a lot about culture and a lot about how to budget my money. Up until last year, he actually quit his job because he got a better offering. So I was like, oh darn, I was using you, but now I can't. So over the course of the past year, I've been trying to figure out how to travel cheap and how to kind of budget my money as a college student but still have fun. So the reason why I think everyone should learn how to budget, how to travel, and why you should travel is because US News actually did a study that a lot of us are giving up our vacation times just because we can't afford it and that we need to make money. But giving up these vacation days actually causes stress, anxiety, and other negative effects. Traveling somewhere can enable you to immerse yourself in new surroundings, boost your brain power, and fully recharge. So, traveling is not only fun and relaxing, you get to learn about yourself. You get to learn what you like when you travel. You get to learn what kind of atmosphere you like, whether you like the nature life, the beach life, or the city life. And you kind of you develop cultural sensitivity. So, Asian drivers, for example. Over here, you think they're just bad drivers. They're actually like that in China because they grew up like that. They grew up driving crazy. Stop signs and signal lights, they're just a suggestion. Like, if you want to go, you go, and you dodge a bullet. So, you kind of just learn why people do things, how they do things, and you kind of develop a way of thinking, okay, so this is why they live like that, and this is what I can do to adjust like. So if I see someone from China who's a bad driver, I'm like, okay, now I know. I get your culture. So the next slide, please. Okay, so how you could travel on a budget. I'm going to go over how you could travel cheap for flights, hotels, and foods. So, booking a flight on a budget. Turn your browser into incognito. Incognito kind of hides, so when you go on a airline site, for example, the amount of times you refresh that page throughout the day, throughout the week, is actually counted, and they know what browser you're using. So the price sometimes shoots up. If you actually go incognito, your browser is completely private. So you're able to get that same price or maybe even lower. The next step is to use airfarewatchdogs.com. I got a flight to San Francisco for $20 round trip. And that was pretty cheap. And then sometimes you go to Oregon for $50, New York for $90 round trip. So you guys can definitely check that out. So then if you mix and match your airlines, so let's just say you take Virgin America there and US Airways back, it's actually a lot cheaper because Virgin America might offer one-way ticket for $90. US Airways might do it for $80, so you guys actually save a couple bucks, like probably $10 to $20. And then if you catch a red-eye flight, because the routes are limited, you're able to kind of maneuver your way around it. So kind of be flexible with where you want to fly, when you want to fly, keep dates open. And I know that is hard for school, but during the summer or winter break, it's definitely a lot easier. And if you see these cards on the bottom, they are frequent flyer cards. And they're kind of like credit cards, and you could sign up for these cards, and they might be able to give you free flights. Bryce Conway, who is known as the travel hacker, he was actually on the news from 2014 to 2015, says you see all these ads for credit cards that say get 2 free flights and get 50,000 points, which is enough for a ticket. He says that I signed up for a travel credit card, got the points, jumped on the website the next day I arrived. He ended up in Panama, spent the second half of the week in Vegas, then flew home, which is in Florida, for $5. So, I don't know about you guys, $5 is like a McDonald's meal. Like, and he's been to like 2 states. So, change it. Okay, so hotels on a budget. You don't need a 5-star hotel. We're not rich, we're not posh. 3 stars is quite enough. All we need is a bed, a bathroom, and whatever it is that we need to live. But essentially, a hotel room is there for you. So, using meta search engines like Trivago, TripAdvisor, instead of Expedia will help you kind of book a cheaper hotel. Sometimes they include flights as well if you want to look at that. Book cancelable rates, because if they give you a 24-hour cancel fee and you see a cheaper hotel the day before, you could cancel that one and book it for cheaper. It's all on you. And then again, the reward points, same thing as the flights. You're able to book through Marriott, Best Western, and Hyatt, and you gain points and you're able to stay at hotels for free later on. And go during non-peak seasons, so Florida in December, Hawaii in December. It's about the same weather if you guys want to look at that. And again, with the flights, be flexible with your timing. Okay. So eating on a budget. You can actually sign up for a dining club via credit card, and that actually gives you rewards points as well for flying. So again, Bryce Conway actually got a $10 meal and a free flight to Fort Lauderdale, Florida from LA. And again, stock up on granola bars, oatmeal, ramen. You could bring that with you. Most hotels have microwaves that you can use in the lobby, hotel room. Just go ahead and use that. Why not take advantage of the hotels? Taking advantage of the hotels, look for hotels that offer free breakfast. You could stock up on that. I work at a hotel as well. I have guests coming in stacking up boxes this high for breakfast. So I know they're eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So also, don't fall to tourist traps. Everyone goes there because it's known for tourists. So of course the prices are gonna bump up quite a bit. So that being said, ask the locals, make some friends, ask, oh, what is a good place to eat? Because they know the cheapest way around that city, and they know pretty darn good food over there. And then if you can't, go ahead and Yelp. Yelp and Groupon, they offer deals. So like they have like 2-for-1 deals on some restaurants. If you get a coupon, you get a free beer. Whatever you like, just go ahead and use that. So yeah, that concludes how to travel on a budget.
Me too.
I know, me too. I was like, I know.
What was that website again?
Which one?
I think it was
Was
like
it
the
Watchdog
or something.
Cheap.
Let me write that down.
You can go check out her video later on.
Oh.
It'll be on the video.
Oh, yeah.
That works.
You know, we'll have hundreds of hits
I know
on
so
that
many hits.
particular. All right. You have excellent audience contact. I thought you moved around pretty well for somebody who's got a little bit of a restriction here. You're animated with your gestures. I think that's pretty effective. Usually you make a solid audience contact. Sometimes you get a little distracted with the information behind you. Your voice is very engaging, and I think you keep your energy level up a little bit. At the end, I think you suddenly ran out of time and realized, and you just kind of stop abruptly, and I think that you need to be a little bit more careful and practiced about those kinds of things. But I don't see any big problems with the delivery issues here. Content is fine. You know, that wasn't heavily emphasized on this particular evaluation, so it's mostly like we said, about delivery issues, and you're doing a fine job there. All right, thank you. Do we have any other make goods? All right, let's do the test.